Saturday night's main event makes its return from San Antonio, Texas, and let's talk about the card. I see some people calling this just a glorified house show. Others are comparing it to a PLE. It has the 2-hour window. It's on NBC. There are some restrictions that a normal PLE wouldn't have. You know, with it being on NBC, some people might tune in that typically don't, whether that's a lapsed fan, a casual fan, or somebody that's just discovering it for the first time. Does this card on paper deliver to return a fan that hasn't watched in years, to bring in a new fan? Honestly, I'm going to have to say no. There's not a whole lot happening on this card. There are some fun matches. There are some good moments. I'm sure that'll happen. On the last Saturday night's main event, we crowned the first ever Women's United States Champion. That was newsworthy. Kevin Owens walked out with the Winged Eagle Championship after losing. They told the story there. So there was some compelling television. But I don't know if this card's really going to be a difference maker. There's nothing on this card I can point to and say, yep, that's going to draw somebody in. But with that being said, I mean, let's predict the card. Let's get into it. I'm going to start with the match I'm looking forward to the most, Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu. I mean, there's no way this isn't match of the night. These are two true heavyweights. Hopefully they just go a million miles an hour. If this is reminiscent of Goldberg, Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, I'm all for it. This match could be 5 minutes, and I'm sure it's going to be the match of the night still. There's no way it's not. These two absolutely deliver. Jacob Fatu has been showcasing his skills week after week. He keeps getting in these big matches. You know, obviously he's main evented a couple PLEs in his first 6 months of the company, and he has showed every single time he's worthy of the moment. Braun Strowman, I mean, we just saw the feud with Bronson Reed. Obviously, he can deliver when he has another monster in there. You know, you get the Godzilla versus King Kong effect, and he delivers every time. This match, I hope, opens the card. If you want to draw new fans in, I think put two true heavyweights that can move. Someone like Jacob Fatu, I think, will connect with somebody that's watching wrestling for the first time in years or ever. So, with that being said, I mean, Jacob Fatu has to pick up the win here. We're kind of building towards something big with him. Braun Strowman, he could eat a loss. It's not a big deal. You know, he always recovers well. He's kind of at that point of his career where he's going to be putting people over. While he'll still stay strong while he beats, you know, people lower down the card. But we're building something with Jacob Fatu here. Whether that's going to lead to him turning on Solo by WrestleMania and we get Solo versus Jacob Fatu. I see some people are predicting Jacob Fatu for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Whatever it is, Jacob Fatu is going to be showcased in, you know, in a decent role at WrestleMania, and you know, it starts now. I think the fact that they're already putting him in here in a one-on-one match on such a big event against somebody like Braun Strowman shows that we're building towards something, and Braun's more than a credible win. Give me Jacob Fatu here, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is. I'm going to enjoy every second of this match, guaranteed. Next up, we have Sheamus versus Braun Breaker. I don't think Sheamus is going to win the Intercontinental title here. You know, he's chasing the Grand Slam accolade. Will that come eventually? Yeah, maybe at WrestleMania. Maybe that's the story we're telling. Maybe it'll be drawn out to then. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of that. I don't want to see Sheamus just chasing the same guy for 3 months, you know. I mean, we've seen Sheamus already in matches with Braun Breaker. They did the triple threat with Kaiser. Sheamus, I think if he walked out here, it would make sense, you know, especially if Braun Breaker is going to have a big match at WrestleMania, like some people are predicting against Goldberg, right? That could be Goldberg's last match against somebody like Braun Breaker. If that is the case, then it makes all the sense for Braun Breaker to lose the Intercontinental title by then. You know, I don't think Braun Breaker versus Goldberg would have the Intercontinental Championship on the line. That's just a matter of if they even go that direction. Obviously, that's no guarantee. But if Braun Breaker loses here, I would say both of his Intercontinental title runs were kind of duds, and that does kind of concern me for the future, especially with him being a world champion. You know, if his Intercontinental title reigns were duds, I think they might be a little hesitant to pull the trigger with him being a world champion, even though he's tremendous. He's over. People love him. It's just if he's not delivering with the title reigns, I think they might fault him a little bit, even though it's kind of due to their booking. But yeah, I mean, this could go either way. You know, like if they pulled the trigger and Sheamus won and became the Grand Slam champion here, I think that could make some sort of sense if they wanted to tell that story now. But in the end, I mean, I got Braun Breaker winning. Next up, Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax. This story doesn't really make sense to me. Tiffany Stratton cashes in on Nia, betrays her friendship, And then Nia's over on Raw attacking Rhea Ripley. Why isn't she just attacking Tiffany Stratton? Why isn't that the women's championship she's chasing? I don't know why she's targeting Rhea Ripley when Tiffany Stratton is the one that betrayed her. She's the one that took her championship. I just don't really like this. Obviously, this is kind of just a placeholder for Rhea. You know, I think they probably just didn't know who to put her on the card with. They're moving her away from the Liv Morgan storyline. There wasn't really somebody next up that's a credible heel. So I don't see any chance Nia wins. I mean, she's already declared for the Royal Rumble, which kind of makes this match a little silly in itself anyways. But it gets Rhea on the card. She'll successfully defend the title and move on. Next up, we have the World Heavyweight Championship, Gunther versus Jey Uso. I mean, I assume this will be the main event. The argument on Raw between the two was kind of about who's the main eventer. Jey Uso is main event at WrestleMania. He threw that shot at Gunther. I would imagine this goes on last, not the contract signing. But I think it's time to pull the trigger with Jey Uso. I think Gunther's world title reign has kind of been a dud itself, too. Ever since he won the title, he went from a dominant heel, the ring general, to 50-50 booking, coward, scared. They've just done an awful job. I think he might need a reset and pull the trigger with Jey Uso. I don't think Jey Uso should walk into WrestleMania as the World Heavyweight Champion, but we still have some time. We do still have the Royal Rumble. We do still have Elimination Chamber. Obviously, he could drop it on Raw at any point, especially since it's on Netflix now and they want to build up Netflix. What bigger way to do it than to drop the World Heavyweight Championship, right? Get a world title change. So Jey has plenty of time to drop the title by then. I think you got to put the title on him. He's obviously one of the most over guys on the roster, if not the most over. Put a world title on him. He's deserved it. When you get over as much as he has, I think it only makes sense to reward that with a world championship. And Gunther, I mean, he's held the title since SummerSlam. It's not like this is some short title reign. He has had his time as the World Heavyweight Champion, and I think it's time to switch it off, move a different direction with Gunther, maybe recoup, because this booking of him has not been doing him any favors. It's not doing the World Heavyweight Championship any favors. The conversation is the World Heavyweight title a secondary title to the WWE Championship? Yeah, of course it is, especially with this kind of booking and the way Gunther's been acting. I'm really not a fan. I think Jey Uso walks out a Saturday night's main event as the World Heavyweight Champion. Now, next up, the contract signing between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. Shawn Michaels is going to be there. He's not there to eat a package pile driver. What are we even doing? I know I'm getting crazy asking for Shawn Michaels to take such a crazy bump, but what other reason is Shawn Michaels here? Just because he's from San Antonio? I don't really know if that's a smart direction. Maybe he just super kicks Kevin Owens in the end, maybe that's what they're doing. But could you imagine if Owens beats down Shawn Michaels? Whether that is a package pile driver, maybe that's a little too optimistic, but even if he just beats him down, dude, what a moment that could be. What a moment. You want to keep pushing Kevin Owens as a heel? Beat down Shawn Michaels, one of the most beloved wrestlers of all time in his hometown. Now, as far as the actual contract signing, what do I expect from this? I mean, it's already set for a ladder match, so I don't really think they're adding a different stipulation. I don't think Kevin Owens will be banned from using the package pile driver. I don't think everybody will be banned from ringside. I don't think there's going to be anything of that sort. I think this is just putting pen to paper. Like I said, the ladder match is already official. You already have the stipulation. There's not really much more that needs to happen here other than, I guess, just build it with one last exclamation point, if you will, and just cap off the story heading into the Royal Rumble. Now, I will say, in regards to the Saturday night's main event, there's only 1 week between it and the Royal Rumble. There's not much time to breathe, and I think they did that by design, because at the Rumble, I mean, we only have 3 matches booked right now, the 2 Rumble matches and the WWE Championship. I think that's going to eat a lot of time, so they kind of have this here to put some of the matches that maybe wouldn't have made that card but need some showcasing. So we'll see what we get with Saturday night's main event. Obviously, I don't think Jesse Ventura is going to be a part of this one. There's not really much mention of him like there was last time. Maybe it should just be expected he'll be there since he was at the last one. But I'm interested to see what happens there. I'm looking forward to the show. There's not anything too compelling on the card, but we'll see. You know, sometimes those are the cards that deliver the most. Let me know in the comments who you guys think are going to win, who I got wrong. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.